What's going on, guys? JPS back for another video, and today I'm going to be reacting to Rejection, Cannabis-Farm zu leise und zu sauber fürs Industriegebiet in Hamburg. So basically what this is saying is is like this cannabis farm is too quiet and too clean for this industry area in Hamburg. And this plays into a much bigger and wider problem in Germany and in the world right now. But guys, this video is from Extra Dry. I keep saying Extra 3, I'm sorry. And it has absolutely blown up, over 500,000 views in just a couple days. So I figured I would cover this. And regardless of how you feel about cannabis, it is a massive problem in Germany, and I don't mean the plant itself, I mean the legalization. It was partially legalized in, I believe, April of 2024, and since then, it's just been a whole lot of bullshit. And let me tell you guys, in the United States, I think that we're a little bit ahead of Germany and Europe when it comes to cannabis legalization. Because in many states, you can go into a store and buy cannabis and smoke it, and there's no problems. That's legal. And when you think about it from the government's perspective, especially in Germany, they are missing out on massive potential tax revenue from selling cannabis to the public through a regulated and legal market. Because part of the reason why cannabis was first legalized in Germany was to get rid of the black market and illegal sellers, which it has not been effective at doing that at all. The legalization has really not changed too much from what I've heard. You know, there's still a large black market. There's still limited access to actually buy cannabis. So I don't really know what the point in legalizing it was. And of course, there's downsides. Like, people treat cannabis, a lot of the language around it is super positive, like, oh, this is medicine, this is super good for you, it's a healthier alternative to alcohol, which I agree with that, but I don't, there's negatives to that as well. There's cannabis use disorder, there's people who get psychosis, there's people who deal with paranoia, sometimes schizophrenia can be activated in people who have a potential for that. So it's not just like a all sunshine and rainbows type of thing. It's a drug at the end of the day. And I feel quite passionately about it because I think that by legalizing it, you're lifting stigma off of something that was demonized so heavily for so many years. Cannabis used to be like seen as a terrible thing. And a lot of the tobacco companies in the United States lobbied and dropped all this advertisement and negative stuff about cannabis. Don't smoke weed, smoke our cigarettes instead. Complete bullshit. You know what I'm saying? So at the end of the day, guys, it's more than just cannabis. I think that people should be able to do what they want, especially when it's a safer thing than what is already legally available. Like in the United States, there's certain employers that will drug test people. If they smoke just one puff off of a joint, they get fired. But the other people can drink and be an alcoholic and drunk on the job all day, and that's not illegal because they're not testing for alcohol. So that is complete bullshit and one of the biggest hypocrisies that comes with this. So yes, there's been a lot of bureaucratic issues in Germany with this whole legalization thing. As you guys can tell, I know what I'm talking about. I'm really curious as to see what happens with this and how this progresses in the country. But Extra Dry is basically saying, what is happening right now? What is happening in this plant? Why is it that you have to have some unemployed guy growing? Someone commented this. They said, why is Germany forcing the weed dealer to be an unemployed guy growing it in his attic with some random lights and a bunch of secondhand equipment? Why can't this be a professional thing where it's like a legal and licensed grower who is then paying tax revenue to the government to make you guys more money and a safer experience for the consumers as well? So let's get right into this. Let's see what Extra Dry has for us today. Here we go.
Entschuldigen Sie bitte, was machen Sie denn hier in diesem Container?
I'm sorry, the music is already hilarious. They're playing like the Jamaican Rasta music. I don't know if this is Bob Marley. It sounds like it.
Denn hier in diesem Container?
Wir würden hier gerne eine Produktionsstätte für Cannabis errichten, im Sinne des Konsum-Cannabis-Gesetzes. Wir sind ein Verein aus Wilhelmsburg.
Hier? In dieser Gegend? Mitten im Industriegebiet im Hamburger Hafen? Wie kommen Sie denn darauf?
Man sieht an anderen Anbauvereinigungen schon, dass dort, wenn die zu nah an einem Wohngebiet zum Beispiel sind, dass dort sich die AnwohnerInnen doch gestört fühlen können. Und das wollten wir halt von vornherein ausschließen.
Okay, sogar an Lüftung und Filteranlage haben Sie gedacht. Und im Industriegebiet dürfte sich ja sowieso keiner beschweren. Da stört sich das Bezirksamt Mitte ja sicherlich auch an nichts und genehmigt die Produktionsstätte sofort. Oder?
Ja, leider kam dann letzten Sommer diese ablehnende Bescheid für unser Vorhaben, weil es öffentlich-rechtlichen Vorschriften widerspricht.
Und zwar stört sich das Bezirksamt Mitte daran, dass die Betriebszeiten Montag bis Samstag 8 bis 18 Uhr und die Fahrzeugbewegungen und die Geruchsbelästigungen, Filteranlage, nicht erheblich störend sind.
Die Punkte, die für die Stadt zu wenig störend sind zu wenig Lieferverkehr, zu wenig Geruchsbelästigung und zu wenig Lärm. Also im Prinzip sind wir zu friedlich für ein Industriegebiet.
Im Industriegebiet muss es nun mal zwingend laut sein und störend und das möglichst rund um die Uhr. Und ein nicht sehr störender Betrieb stört da nur, sagt das Amt. Ein Gewerbebetrieb im Industriegebiet ist unzulässig, wenn er nicht dem charakteristischen Störgrad entspricht.
Ja, wir könnten auch die Filteranlage einfach weglassen, dann würden wir mehr stinken. Vielleicht kann ich ja den Lüfter noch insofern ein bisschen ausbeulen, dass er irgendwo ein bisschen mehr klackert oder so.
Complete bullshit. And he knows, and we all know, it's not because it's too disruptive. It's because, listen, there is a massive movement against cannabis legalization in Germany. And it's from the more conservative, I would get like older people, I guess. And I understand that, like, that's how they were raised and they feel a certain way about something. But this is absolutely ridiculous. What are we doing? This guy literally made it his prerogative to not establish this farm or whatever, this grow facility in any residential areas, goes to the industrial area so it won't be disruptive. And then it's labeled as not disruptive enough. Are you serious? Like that. Man, that bureaucracy stuff, that does my head in. It is so frustrating. And let's say this was a completely different thing, which, listen, if it was, this video wouldn't exist and this guy probably wouldn't be having these problems. It's because it's cannabis. And man, I thought you're allowed to grow if you're a part of these clubs in Germany. You know, so you either need to be like a medical patient getting your marijuana from the pharmacy, or you have to be a part of the club. So it's still just like, it also has to do with the European law. Because think, in the Netherlands, right? Weed is still not legal in the Netherlands. They just don't, they're not very strict on the smaller establishments. So it's just all a bit backwards. What's going on in Europe, bro? I know, like, do you guys understand? Am I sounding crazy right now? Really?
Es muss halt richtig scheppern, so wie auf dem Nachbargrundstück. Hallo?
Neben uns ist ein Gelände der Stadt für illegal abgestellte Autos, die hier hingeschleppt werden. Die sind natürlich extrem laut.
Was passiert denn da?
Hörst du was?
Na, jetzt nicht wirklich, aber leise Autos passen besser ins Industriegebiet als leise Pflanzen. Apropos, um die Pflanzen macht sich das Amt richtig Sorgen. Stichwort Störempfindlichkeit am beabsichtigten Standort, weil...
Aufgrund der benachbarten Industriebetriebe, ja, und der daraus resultierenden Emissionen unsere Pflanzen im Geschmack und ihrem Wachstum beeinträchtigt werden könnten. Das führt das Ganze natürlich komplett ad absurdum.
Aber auch wegen der Emissionen der Cannabis-Farm auf benachbarte Industriebetriebe hat das Amt Bedenken.
Also eigentlich stören wir zu wenig, aber auch zu viel. Und man weiß nicht so ganz, stören wir jetzt oder nicht?
Och, nun lassen Sie mal Gras über die Sache wachsen. Oder eben nicht.
Ich sag ja immer, zwischen Leber und Niere passt immer noch eine
That was absolutely ridiculous, guys. I honestly feel bad for this man, though. He seems super chill. He's just trying to be one of the beginners in this movement. So I don't know what's gonna happen. This video just dropped a few days ago, so this is like current in Germany. Let me know your thoughts on the whole situation in the comments, guys. Again, I'm not living in Germany. I'm just doing my best to stay updated on what's going on because this issue is definitely important to me. And I would love to hear your thoughts. And for those of you who are against cannabis, I mean, I understand everyone can have their own opinion. What do you think is the best route going forward? Because listen, this is not logical. No matter how you feel about cannabis, you have to admit this makes no sense. There need to be clear guidelines and there needs to be an actual plan. Because right now it's just like, no, you can't do it here, but you can't do it here. And this is too much and this is too little. And and it's just not gonna happen. That's what this sounds like, and it's absolute madness. Like that just it should anger you because it's ridiculous. So thank you guys so much for watching. Big shout out to Extra Dry. We can tell how they feel about this situation, of course. It was an entertaining little clip. I enjoyed it. I hope you guys did as well. I'm not gonna make this like a cannabis channel. I've reacted to one other clip from Hoyte Show like a year ago. Aside from that, like we'll see what happens. It'll be interesting. But yeah, appreciate y'all for staying tuned in and supporting me. And I will see you guys in the next one. Peace.